Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? Well, you can see a sneak peek here, and if you're here, you've already read the title, but, well, I assume you have anyway. But I decided the other day, as I was working on this project that you can get the sneak peek of here, to really step back and take a look at all of the granny square projects that I have going on. So I thought I would share all of those grouped together with you and show you like a little Granny-Mania. It's probably the title of this video. A couple of these are, well, I guess they're all ongoing projects, but some of them are newer than others. People who've been around longer probably will remember all of them. They're not like beginning of my crochet era old or anything like that. Although one of them is using yarn from before my crochet era. At least one of them. Maybe more. But yeah, so anyway, it's come to my attention. I was talking with, I think I've had the same conversation with Courtney and Samantha from Fiberfox Studios and from Amethyst Craftworks, respectively. Hi, ladies. But I was talking more recently with Erin from Crafting Kitty about how many granny projects that I have going on. And let's just say these need to get finished. They need to get finished. They're what I am, aside from the star blanket that I keep teasing you, which has a granny stitch in it also. Sort of. It does, but it's got a granny star stitch. These are all, I think these are all squares. Because I do have, aside from, just bear in mind for future reference, aside from this, I also have two rectangles, one of which is, or pentagon? No, pentagon's 5. Hexagons, thank you, memory bank. I have two hexagon projects going on that are, one is like a solid and one is, which is from that Stranger Things calendar. I decided to use that yarn. The one that didn't quite really match up to Stranger Things. That's what I'm using that in. I have that going on. And I have something I've never shown you guys because I'm not sure how I feel about it. We can get into the details of that later. But me being obsessed lately with Wayne's World, I rewatched it. I noticed that Wayne's couch has this granny hexagon blanket on it. And I decided, hey, I have those colors. Because I have a magical collection of yarn. And I mean, that is pretty great. It's like most of the things I'm like, oh, I really wish most of the things I have found or found a replacement for in a pattern, or I'm very proud of the collection I have curated. Don't get me wrong. Though I am trying to work it down, I'm still proud of it. Anyway, back to the Wayne's World thing. I just like looked off the picture and did my best. And like, as far as I can tell, there's one pattern that is supposed to be for the Wayne's World blanket, but it doesn't look like the Wayne's World blanket. So I did my best, you know me, and replicating. So, but it's not, I don't know. We'll get into it later, but that is another project. So those are two other projects I have going on that I'm not even touching here. Okay. I think these are all actual squares. I'm going to start with this one because you can see it. I have it housed in this basket, but I'm sure you can tell that this is my latest and last Red Heart Roll With It tweed blanket. I know I've shown this more recently. There is one cake of yarn missing because it's the one I'm working with out in the other room, but it's this same color. The colors that I have been left with after making the last 2 or 3. I think I only made 2. Might have made 3. Definitely made 2. Anyway, not the point. That I'm left with. This is called Popular Pink. And I have the one that I'm working with out there, plus these two. Oh, plus the one I've already worked up, which I'll show you in a second. And I've got Violet is the color of this one. So I've got these two plus one that I've already worked up. And the rest of the things I have already worked up, so I'll just show you to the best of my knowledge the stacks of those colors. But this is the popular pink worked up because, you know, it does have that gray, so there is some solid, kind of solid grays. There's, in some parts of the gray, there are two tones. Like there's a really light, I don't know how well this will show up, but there is gray and a really light gray. Like the gray is already light, but there's an even lighter thread of it in there. And then, you know, we've got the pink. I won't bore you with necessarily every single square, but we've got, I like that one. We've got the pink and the grays. You get the idea. I like this one too a lot. Marled together because that's the way the tweed works, right? Okay, so that was one of them. Now imagine those two colors. I'll try to hold stacks up as, like, after we've gone through some of them so you can get an idea. I don't know how well that's gonna go. This is the violet. So it also has the gray in it, and then it has a really dark, like a dark gray, black kind of color that marls through it too, which that will come in handy later as we progress. It's got these pretty blues mixed in. Like this square is almost all blue. So here's the rest of it. Marled. I mean, I am showing you them. I'm just not going to hold up every single one. That will take forever. And I'm sure there's other ones that I will hold up every single one on. If you're here to look at yarn, this is the video for you, right? Then I moved on to, I had two of the color, I think it's just called neon. And I really like, this reminds me every bit of the movie 10 Things I Hate About You. It's got the bright green and the pink and the black mixed in. But neon has all of these wild colors marled together as this yarn is. That one looks almost like aquatic or something. I don't know. This one I might show you all the colors too because I really like them. And I just let the yarn do as it is. I wasn't going to color control any of the stripes like you can see there because I just wanted to work with all of this yarn, not have a bunch of scrap left over. So there's the last two from this one. And then, let's see. Here's the other neon. So well, maybe we can do like a flip book up here for you better, but the colors are not uniform in either one, as you can tell by, like, this pink was mixed with black and green before. That one definitely wasn't in the other one. All right, so those were the neon cakes. And then there was one called, I'm going to go with this one next. I think this one was called Fiesta. I only had one cake of this one. So, but it has kind of the same neons, if not neon, then definitely like a bright color to it. Kind of the same, really. Like this one could have been, I would have believed this was in the neons. So I love this square. This is so like a Halloween rave or something to me. I love it. I love it so much. But that is the neon-esque ones. And then there's one last one, which was called Vintage, which this pink is more faded, I guess, or more muted than this pink. Of course, I made everything crash, but that's okay. The purple is also more muted, but it is rainbowy, and frankly, I needed this to make enough squares. So, like, if my math is correct, this is going to be probably about a queen-size blanket. Here's hoping. I have like one orangey square left over from the coral one that I made and sold in the animal auction, in the rescue auction. Animal auction sounds bad, like we were selling livestock or something. But, so like if I needed one more square, maybe I could pitch that one in here. I don't know. Because it is pretty, as you can see, pretty colorful. But like here are, like this is neon, fiesta, and vintage all together. So I mean, yes, some of the colors are brighter, but I think it's going to work, right? And then, man, please don't let this topple and make a mess. I'm living on the edge here. This is neon violet and what was it called? Perfect pink? What was it called? Popular pink. And I'm kind of feeling, since I have a lot more of this color and then this color, I'm kind of feeling like they'll be like the outer edges and the really colorful stuff will be in the very center, almost kind of like a watercolory quilt kind of deal. That's the way I was feeling that. I don't know yet. I mean, I'm probably going to lay out a bunch of layouts and try to figure it out. But let me see if I can stack these up so I can set them back in here. Am I coordinated enough to hold? I feel like this is a disaster in the making, but I'm going to try to hold them together so you get a good look at everything. And this is the way I chaotically decided to do it. I did it. But there's all of the colors being used. There'll just be more of the pink, grays, purples in this stack. And then I have one little additional square in the making, kind of. So what I did was I saved the, like this is I believe this was Fiesta, and I believe this is from the Violet. And then this one was a leftover neon that got most of the way around. So I figured if I need one more square, I'll patchwork one or two together from whatever happens to be left over. So those are the plans. I'm going to, of course, if you've been around, you know this is coming. It's linked down below like it always is, but I'm going to use my continuous join to join these. I wish I could reach it from here. I can't. It's across the room, and I have a barrier of square projects in my way. But what I'm going to join it with is I'm going to hold a Caron cloud cake together with a Caron latte cake. The cloud cake I'm going to use is the raspberry colorway. I'm trying to see if I have like anything in reach that's even remotely. Let me borrow your hat for a second. This is similar. This is more pink, obviously, because this was a pink yarn. This was the first beret that I ever made. Like when I first started to crochet, I just decided to freehand this. It lives on Baby Yoda now, and sometimes he's in shot. You can see his ear right there. But it's a little bit darker, more raspberry than this, but I mean, we're in the similar vein, right? So that's going to be held with, I have 2 latte cakes that are solid dark gray. I can't remember the name of it. It might just be gray. I don't remember. But I thought they would be a good contrast with the raspberry, and that would pull everything in together with grays and pinks, and that's my plan. I really, really like, so one of the blankets that sold in the shelter charity auction was the coral tweed squares with this really fuzzy corally yarn. So I kind of wanted to emanate, and if this blanket is going to be for me, I just wanted it to be the softest, snuggliest, like, not that I don't want other people's to be, but these are yarns that I wanted to use for me. So I thought they would go well with it. So that's my plans for this one. Now, where I ask, do I set this so that I can show you other things? But that's project 1. Okay. Project 2, I'll just do this so I can start setting things on top of it. 'Cause you know we're going to need to, right? We're going to need to pack. If you have not watched the movie Marquee shows, episodes, videos, I'm not going to explain all of it here, but I will show you the project that I started, which is this stained glass. I'll try to remember to link this down below. It's like Julianne's or Giuliani's or something, stained glass square on Ravelry. I will try to remember to link it down below. If I forget, you can either remind me or it is in all of the movie marquee videos. So check those out. But but I know most of you guys do, right? But yeah, so it's like a brief look at past squares. You're going to have to watch current updates to see the current ones or to know what movies these are from. I'm not going to go through all that here. But I really like these with the mixed. That's a mixed yarn it's like a Hobby Lobby yarn I got on clearance, but it really looks stained glassy with this black, right? So that's a couple of movies worth. Hold on, let me stack them. So I'm attempting to stay slightly organized and not have any avalanches going on. We'll see how well that works out, but you know, we're giving it the old college try. You can kind of see some of the movie themes, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying that you may know what movie it's from, but you can see the collection, right? With some of them, probably not all of them. And the backs, I always show off the backs too. I think the backs are just as pretty as the fronts. Here. I don't know. I really like them, especially like if I do a good job sewing in the ends. To be determined if that's always going to be the case, but you know, I think I've done okay so far. Here's the last set, which I went a little off the grid with some of those, but you know, every once in a while, you have to have like a creative license on it, right? Okay, so that's project number 2. Project number 3 is this lovely right here in another basket. Move stuff around here. And you may have noticed on the top these beautiful vintage colored yarns, because these are basically the next in line for some squares. I'm gonna set these up here until I get done showing you this one. That one is so pretty. That was a awesome eBay find. And all of these are basically eBay finds. But, oh, did I show you that one? I just moved it out of the way. What's inside here is a little bit of chaos. Like these are needles that it's a needle case that I've actually been looking for, so I think I'm gonna keep this out. I know there's a pair of travel scissors in here. I also have these because one of the skeins of yarn that I got from Goodwill was this color. And I had been in search of this color for so long, but it was, it ended up being here, this color. It's to solve the mystery, it's Red Heart Fiesta is the color name. But, one of the Goodwill cakes that I had gotten was so tied, like they had to have, I don't know, at one point used it for tassel is what I'm thinking, and then changed their mind and tied it all together. I really don't know. But each cut piece made a pretty decent square. So, I mean, I'm not going to show you all. I made a ton of squares. The ends aren't sewn in. I figured I would do that when I got around to it. And then the other thing in here is also this one. This is, forever I was looking for Red Heart Maypole. I found one in this rainbowy color called Fiesta. Isn't that weird? I swear the other one is also Fiesta. But look at that rainbowness. I found one. I occasionally search eBay again and again and again looking for more. I'll probably do that soon. And then most of them have their ends sewn in, but I see this is one color. Woo! This is one colorway that wants to focus. You can see the ends right there. I have to sew the ends in here. But they're just, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 round granny squares. I do most of my granny squares with an H hook unless the pattern calls differently, because that's just the way I was taught to do them. But I basically just take a whole skein of yarn like the ones I showed you and make as many as I can get. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 11 5-round squares out of this pretty pastel. And I'm doing all, I never even said what I was doing. You probably can tell since, you know, you can see it, but, or since you saw the ones that I did there. But I am taking all the vintagey old variegated yarns that I love and turning them into granny squares for a blanket. This one I remember was called Grasshopper. It's Red Heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 10 squares out of this one, but they're, you know, all similar. And then, like, there's no rhyme or reason, it seems like, to some of my square making or like placement in here. This was a super old one that it was like Quaker or something. But tell me that doesn't look like your grandma's couch. That like grandma's couch that's like in a basement that you played Atari in with this couch as what you could sit on. That's a memory. But it is like a grandma's couch type of theme, you know, theme. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 out of this one, but they are pretty like thick. It's not like a different size yarn. It's just, I don't know. It's a little bit thicker. So I got that one. And then this is the another name I remember because this is Chianti because of the Stranger Things reference. It's Chianti, sir. But that's another Red Heart variegated. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I also got 10 out of this one. And then we'll just go with this one. This was the purple variegated that, I don't know why, but I got less out of this one too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 6 here. But I believe I have another one of these. And I know, like, once I start them, I just do the whole ball. So I know that's either there's more purple in one of these that I haven't shown you yet, or that's all I got. Maybe it was only a partial skein. This was a Red Heart jewel. I'm not sure if that's a thing, and I don't remember. But this almost reminded me of like the later 80s things, like furniture that got carried into the 90s, kind of. That's what these colors remind me of. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 of these. All pretty similar, at least on the outside row. And then, let's see. I have another skein of this too, and this is another thicker feeling one. And I don't remember the name of it, but I know I had to drop a hook size to make this one match up. And I know this reminds me of, like I said, this was like the Palace Arcade in Stranger Things. This was like their floor. Like I could totally see that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of these. And I had like some more like scraps kind of laying around. So this was a yellow one that I only got 3 out of, but that's like a yellow variegated that I want to say is called Daffodil, but I don't know if I'm right about that. And then same with this. This was a scrap that I had, so I used that. And same with this. I think these I got for my grandma, if I remember right. So there was only 2 of those. And then this one I had gotten from like Goodwill at some point. And they may look a little different because I had to wash these. This yarn made me so itchy. And I think it was like, I didn't find any unwanted pest guests or anything in this. But I think there was either like it was kept in a place that maybe either had that issue, which is always a danger, right? You always worry when you're getting like yard sale yarn or Goodwill yarn, I'm itching thinking about it, or or eBay yarn to, you know, some degree too. Or it could have been, like David pointed out, maybe they had sprayed a pesticide and that was in it, like anything that could now irritate my skin. But after I washed it, I'm fine. I didn't get the itchies because of this. It's because I was thinking about the things that could be in it. But they got washed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of them. And that one's a really pretty sandy variegated color. Then the last pile that I have so far, this was what I think before I started making all those centers, I know I sewed in a bajillion ends. You might be able to see them poking out, like the brown out of the yellow here and here, the yellow out of the red. I sewed in so many ends to these, but this is how it works up, and it's gorgeous. 1, 2, 3. I made 4 of them, and then I called it quits and just made centers out of the rest of them. But I think that is just so beautifully vintage. I love it. It's beautiful. So I got 4 of those. And then I also really love this color. I want to say this is called Wildberry, but I could be wrong. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these. This was actually one I had bought some brown, golden, orange, and they like threw this in with it, and I was not gonna say no. Like, this is so pretty. So this one, and then the last one is this one that reminds me kind of candy corn. I think it was called either citrus variegated, or this one might have been the one that's just called oranges, even though it's not. Maybe like the fruit, because like orange, and then where it's near the rind, and then the white part of the orange. I don't know. I don't know why it was called that. I don't name them. 3. It looks like candy corn to me. 3, 4, 5, 6. And I got 8 of these. Now I'm going to try to stack them back in here while I'm talking, because I'm getting really hot. Had my fan, that little hand fan earlier. I'm about to bring that back out, so hopefully that didn't actually disturb anybody. Yeah. When I get enough of these, and I want another like queen size blanket out of this. I used to make only huge blankets, and then I tried to like make myself make smaller ones. Now I'm back on this big blanket kick for anything, especially that I'm keeping, because I have queen size beds in the house, right? And I want to snuggle up with them. Like, I'm not a little gal, so I want snuggle room, you know. Let me pack this back up while we're talking, I guess. And so I have lots and lots more to do. Maybe I'll have enough for 2 blankets, because I have this that I showed you, and I have quite the extensive collection. Now, not all of them are destined for this blanket. Not all of them are. Like, can I pull this out without a card? I have a book stacked on top of this. This is another one this was the extra yarn they sent. I bought skeins of yarn in this color, and I love this color. So I have quite a few of them, but they sent this along extra. Like, if they said something like, if you want to untangle it, you know, we're just throwing it in. If you don't, throw it away. I untangled it, and I got all of these little ends. And these are all separate, so I just tied them together. But I think somebody was making, you know, tassel or something out of those. The other skeins are all whole. But like, I have quite a few of those. Those are probably going to be like on their own, not in a project like this where they're mixed up with stuff. Like, I might mix one in there, but they're going to be for the most part on their own. Let me set this down here out of the way. So that's my third, and I'm thinking I'm going to, sorry, this got to come out, guys. I'm hot. I'm thinking that, I'm going to join it with just a black. And if I can, I'd like to find a vintagey black, but I mean, Red Heart black isn't the softest, so I might go with that. Although some of these are pretty surprisingly soft, but it would still make my little heart happy if I could find some like vintage black or gray or brown, just solid, to so remains to be seen what I do with joining that one, but that's what I'd like to do. Okay, I'm enjoying this moment of fan before I move on. It's really hot in here. Maverick's upstairs with his dad, so I close the door so the light doesn't continually turn off, which is what you always see me reaching over here to do, is turn it back on, because it's on a movement timer, and it's extra hot in here. I don't want to plug in a fan or anything, because I am worried it'll be too loud with my microphone. Anyway, okay. So we're 3 projects in and 3 to go. The next one that I have is in this bin, because this was a November and December daily project for me. This was my Stranger Things inspired. It's like some of them have 2 or 3, or some of them only have 1, but they're inspired by different Stranger Things characters. So like this was in season 3 Erica. This was Murray in his robe. Some of them I remember, some of them offhand I may not. And I'm just going to show them to you, because I know not everybody is a Stranger Things fan, but this is my, I don't know what I just decided, Diamond Granny, I guess, square. I had made this square so long ago, and you know this is Dart, just going to say, because it's got his little yellow butt spot. And when I do get around to tutorials, this is what I want to do one of fairly quickly. So some of them I made multicolored, and you can see on the back how that was done, kind of. Most of them are pretty obvious to me which ones are which, like for which characters and stuff, but I mean, they should be. I did them right. If you want to see each of these when they were inspired, you'll have to watch last year's vlogs. And some of them I changed the color on. I made them like polar opposites. Some of them I didn't. I think I have 1 more in here. 2 more in here. Changed the color on that one. And I did not change the color. I think I changed the, like these are in the corner and these are half and half. Yep, that's what I did for that one. Sorry, there's no getting around having to put these back in, because the way I have them stacked, and there's so many of them at this point. And at one point I had figured out how many I needed to fit on my bed, and so how many more I needed to make. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't yet. These were the Heather squares, because I have a Stranger Things fanfic with a Heather character, of course, and this says Heather to me very much. This is the vintage yarn I was just talking about, and this is Red Heart grape or whatever, amethyst. I think it's called amethyst, actually. These were the same character. I just didn't realize I put a red center. And what I'm thinking I want to do with these, because I already do have a lot of them, right? But I know I needed to make more. Some of them turned out similar to other ones. Anyway, sorry, I distracted myself. Oh, this one I made a little bit different, because that's a Demogorgon. So I just made his little face petals. I was very proud of that at the time. I remember that. I think I'm not going to go... Yes, I am going to go looking for it. Did I do that with the Dart one too? I did not. Dart is a full diamond. Anyway. I think I would like to join these with black also. Maybe this color, if I like were to fall into an awful lot more of it. You know, that's Will the Wise. It's got the sparkly. if I remember right, this was just straight up my Hawkins one, like Hawkins square. And like I said, if you want to know for sure, you can go back and check. But here is, you get the idea, an awful lot of... Did I just throw more Hawkins ones in? I don't remember. No, this was the Fairmart. See, I remember. Just had to jog my memory. And I remember this was Robin in her camo. This was just a Stranger Things, like just the black and red for Stranger Things. And I may have more of these in here. I can't remember if I got around to making them, but my intent was to make more of those just because, you know, they're a pretty dominant thing to have in here, I guess. Like it's obvious why there would be a lot of them to me. Anyway. Let's see. I'd like to be able to do this quicker for you guys, but I don't know how. Maybe if I do it this way, then I can just put this right back in. So I didn't really plan this out. I was just like, let me show everybody. It'll be great. Here's more. I really do like this diamond pattern. I definitely want to get it up for you guys. I know there's like variations of it out there that you could look up now if you're impatient or you just want to learn from somebody else. But I do want to get these up at some point. Like as far as granny squares, this will be the first one unless I do like another. I have a tutorial for just like a basic solid granny square. So besides that one, unless I do the basic granny square with the granny clusters, this will be my very first one. That's a fun one. So this would work for my Stranger Summer. Can you guess what this is? This is the Rainbow Room. It's obvious, right? But I do hope that you can see, at least in some of them. Like some of them, when I was drawing like names and stuff, I had a very specific like season this of this kid and this outfit, and you know, so some of them you may not be able to tell as well as others, but I hope you can see the inspiration behind a lot of them. Last ones. Like to me, this definitely still says season 3 max. Do you know what this is? That's the bow tie. That's Dusty's bow tie from the ice, the snowball, the winter dance that the kids had. This is the square for the snowball. It's got some sparkly. I don't know how well you can see the sparkles, but this is Red Heart with Love metallic that I used. Don't fall squares. We were so stacked nicely. Oh, this was Joanne's Halloween yarn, the vampire colorway. Matchy matchy. Almost done. Oh. I didn't put that on this one, but at first I was like, what is that? This is Muse. That's his angry kitty eyes. I don't know why I do the things that I do. This is Joyce's house with the Christmas lights and the floral wallpaper. I have more of both of those yarns, so I definitely want to make a few more of those because I like the way they look. Almost done with this one. Oh, yeah. the Ghostbuster logo that I was so stinking proud of. And then this one was without. But those were the Ghostbuster outfits. And then this is the last one. A little bit of green peeking out there. So that is my box of Stranger Things squares, which, like I said, I will want to join. Did I even say it, or did I interrupt myself like 3 different times? I want to join that with black. Oh yeah, I did, because I said maybe if I found a ton of that brown, orange, and gold yarn, maybe, but I would like to use black, I think, for that, just because it'll really make everything like pop out as black does. But that's my plan for that one. Got to take a fan break for a second, guys. We do have 2 more. Plus, like, my arms are tired from this for the last 30 minutes or so. It's more the heat. My cheeks are getting so pink. Okay. And then, let's see. Let's move this over here. This one's in a bag. It's got a bag all of its own. I already have the joining yarn in mind, which is this one. This is Pound of Love in Pumpkin Spice. So I have several of these, so get in there for now. But this one was made with, I don't want things to topple out as I show you, so I'm trying to get the squares out and then I can show you the yarn that I used. They're so soft. So there's no way I would have had table space to set all this up and be less annoying. No way. Even if I cleared off the entire table. Here's the 4 colors that I am using as the squares. I think there's another color. Is there another color in there? No, it's just these. These 2 smaller ones are worsted antiquity yarn when they had the variegated, the stripey. This is autumnal. This is similar, but I believe it's bonfire. Yep, this one's bonfire because it's got orangey in it too. And then the 2 bigger balls are worsted stripes, which I think you can still get this one. This one is called Serenity. And then I'm not so sure you can get this one, but this one's called Foliage. Sitting it back up is going to be fun. Because of course I put it in a bag and decided to move all the contents out. Smart moves. And you know, I don't edit anything, so y'all are getting this great content of me shuffling my stuff around. Okay, so each one of those had a mate that is worked up in here. And I am using the corner to corner granny square for these. Which there is a tutorial by Hooked on Robin that I think I watched at one point, and that's where these came from. Like, I can just do them now, but this one was, what did I say the very first one was called? I remember all of them, but this one, autumnal. This one was autumnal. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 12 of these squares. Woo! That I can't line up to save my life. But they're not like the variegated ones that I showed you. They're all very different. Just the stripes just fell again, and I let them fall wherever. I'm very grateful that I believe I sewed the ends into all of these. So that's the autumnal, which makes this the bonfire. Isn't that pretty? And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 12 of these. Did I say I only had 11 of the other one? That's weird. Okay. Well, anyway, I got 12 of these. I like this one the best. I love it. I wish you could get this colorway still. I really wish you could get that colorway still. And then Serenity, which is the stripy one, you can still get, I'm pretty sure. This is how that works up. And I got more out of these, I'm sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I got 18 of these. And then this was foliage. See, I think, yeah, darker colors right there. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 18 of these. So 18, 18, 11, and 12. Hopefully I can squeak another one out, or I might have to do like a solid in this color or something. I don't really know. But so double that basically, and that is going to be my my blanket, and we'll have to go from there. Like, I'm not mathing right now, but that's what I have yarn to do squares of. Whether I have to take a couple out or add a couple solids or figure something out, but that's my plans for that one. And I already said I was going to join it in the pumpkin spice solid color. So that is another project. Now on to the last one, which I have never shown you guys yet, and it's hiding in this Bon Jovi bag. I have all sorts of different colors hanging out in here. There is also a cherry red, just scrap, that I was working with. This one is a cream from, see the little fuzzies on it? It's pretty old. From just Goodwill that I've had for a while, and I decided to use this. And like I said, there is a cherry red heart out there. It's also part of the Wayne's World Afghan, but I think for the square I'm going to show you in here, I used red heart, no, Joann's I mean. So either or, doesn't really matter, and you'll see why in a minute. But we've also got red heart with love, and this is in the color Cafe Latte. We've got Joann's in the color eggplant or fig? I think it's eggplant. Eggplant. Joann's Big Twist Value. We have got this orange, which is a Big Twist Value in bright orange, I think. I don't think there's a label though anymore. And then the other two purples that you're seeing dancing around is a Red Heart Super Saver in lavender and a Red Heart Super Saver in light jasmine. Now, what are all these colors and red going to be, you ask? Well, I decided this one is going to be my longest ongoing project, because I am forever saying, story time, I'm going to get my fan back out. I am forever saying I want to like run away, and Maverick and I are just going to have our own little witch cottage. Like, we'll come back, we'll visit. We're going to have our own little witch cottage in the forest. And so this, I'm calling this like my witchy blanket, my witch cottage blanket, whatever you want to call it, because I guess there is such a thing that I found out more recently called, what is it called? Now I had it on the tip of my tongue, like cottage couture or something like that. You'll know what I'm talking about. You guys are probably yelling it at me, but it's kind of that mixed with witchier things. It's witchy cottage is what it is. And I looked up, and the first one I made was in the eggplant, the first set of these. I looked up star squares, so I made a star square. I looked up moon squares by the same person. If you really want to know, and I haven't linked it, I will just say something and I will link it. I cannot think of who it is, because it's been a little while since I started these, to be honest. This is like an ongoing project that I just want to do when I'm like happy and peaceful. And then another gal had mushroom squares and pumpkin squares. So I had the 4 of these that I had decided very badly needed to be witchy, cottagey, foresty fall vibe. Right? Now what I wanted and what I had looked for forever and couldn't figure out which one it was this red heart, lavender, I said, right? These I ended up getting, I got 3 of these for this blanket that I ended up finding at one of the Joann's before it closed, my big Joann's. It was there, so I got those. But before I did that, I had gotten the light jasmine, and I tried out the moon and star in the light jasmine. I know I never made it to the pumpkin, I never made it to the mushroom, and I have not made the lavender squares yet. But these are the colors that the blanket is going to be, these and the lavender that I just showed you. And it's just going to be a checkerboard mixture of all of these together. I don't know what color I would join this with. I don't know. It might be brown. I'll have to decide that much later. But these are the only little squares that I have of it yet, because like I said, I just want to do it. And you know, I haven't been relaxed, and I mean, I'm not gonna say I haven't been happy, that's not a thing for me, but like I do my best to be happy, but I just haven't been relaxed and been like, oh, I have all this time and this is just what I want to sit and do, which is what I want, just good happy vibes to go into these squares, into this blanket. This blanket is peace for me, and that's what I want to do. So all of that said, that is my final square project, I think. So, which one do you guys like the best? I know some of them are much further along than the other ones, and they all kind of have their own different personality. None of them, like, there's only 2 of them are traditional granny square ones, and the other ones are, as you've seen, different, but they are all squares. They all need to be joined, and boy, do I have a granny square palooza going on here, right? Granny square mania, whatever this video ends up being called. I'm gonna let you guys go on that note, because 52 minutes, and yeah, I have 2 other videos that I'd like to get done tonight, so one that I have to get done. So I am gonna let you guys go, but thanks for joining me. Let me know if you worked on any granny squares while we were doing all this talking, and oh guys, the heat's getting to me. All right, on that note, I am gonna let you go for real. I will talk to you guys soon, and I love you so much. Bye guys.